As we joke around a lot in my circles, we're like, oh my God, you were the it girl. Everybody wanted you until nobody wanted me. Within the ranks of the United States Congress, there's felons galore. There's people with all sorts of shisty backgrounds. And all of a sudden, George Santos is the Mary Magdalene of United States Congress.
Okay, so George Santos is determined to end this thing, this weird spectacle, with not an ounce of respectability, self-respect, decency, or anything. And why would he? That's not how he started it. That's not how he comported himself in the last 2 years. So he's gonna go out by setting it all on fire, calling himself the it girl, calling himself Mary Magdalene, and making, during all of this insanity, a couple of acceptable points that we will talk about. But the reason that we're talking about this is that you need to know that this could be the week where it ends. It is expected that there will be another vote to expel George Santos from office. This will be the third. He would be, I believe, the fifth or sixth ever to be expelled. And while the first two attempts failed, this one seems like it has a significantly higher chance. It's not a lock, but he is acting as if he believes he's about to be expelled. He had more to say, saying, I don't care. You want to expel me? I'll wear it like a badge of honor. I'll be the sixth expelled member of Congress in the history of Congress. And guess what? I'll be the only one expelled without a conviction. Is that better? That it was so damning and you looked so bad that we didn't even need a conviction to expel you in this hypothetical? I don't think it's better. He says he will defend himself to the end of time. And he goaded House Ethics Committee Chair Michael Guest to stop being a P blankety blank Y and force a vote on his expulsion resolution. Because this is sort of like a, you can't fire me, I quit. But you might be fired, George Santos. And I want to get to a couple of the points that he made that were okay. But how do you overall what do you make of the style with which he's entering his possible last week?
As George Santos may, or Anthony DeVolder may. He's the it girl, all the attention's around him. He still can't stop thinking about himself as far as in that mindset. There's a reason you're the it girl. There's a reason why everybody's talking about you, because you lied your way into Congress, and then you lied your way during Congress, and you apparently can lie your way out. And yes, we're gonna get to some of those good points, but this is the only way he can go about it. There's the only way MAGA types of folks can go about things. When you're in trouble, there's something going on that people aren't looking at you too favorably about, then you have to talk about how you're the victim. And I can't believe they do this to me. All they did was look at all the illegal activities that I was involved in, and they're mad at me about it. What's the matter with them? Which then leads to his next point, John.
You want to talk about what he thinks about his colleagues? Because I think we should talk about that. He sort of alluded to it in the video that you saw, that he's surrounded by felons. And look, we have talked about that throughout this, that like, why is it that it seems like he should be kicked out when the stuff that other people do seems substantively worse? I mean, he's just a liar. First of all, that's not true. That narrative has never been true. He is a liar. He's also a criminal, or at least an alleged criminal. So it is not just his misstatements about the Baruch volleyball team. He also is alleged to have committed a lot of crimes. So let's bear that in mind. But that said, there are other people there that have seemingly committed worse crimes. But there's also, it's just so out there and so obvious, and he was so careless that I would love if anyone who's demonstrably a liar or a criminal gets kicked out of the government. Unfortunately, that's not the world that we live in. That doesn't happen. Maybe with him, it is so comical that we can get rid of him. So that's the approach that I take. So I get why he might be frustrated, but that's just the situation we have. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.